match, and it will do 10 rounds if necessary. This is the 200-pound pro boxing championship, and what you see now, that particular belt, is the vacant NABF cruiserweight belt that is vacant, and the winner of this fight will receive that belt. So the fight is for the NABF cruiserweight championship right here at Wild Bill's. Introducing right now for this professional boxing match in the blue corner. He's 35 years of age. He's a height of 6'2". Weighs in at 200 pounds. His record, 18 wins, 5 losses with 11 knockouts. He is the 11th ranked cruiserweight in the United States of America. He's from Chicago, Illinois. He fights for Team Robinson. Blue corner is Jason Robinson.
Which is who Lee Roper is.
His opponent in this 10-round match.
By default.
Each round going the distance of 3 minutes. In the red corner, 42 years of age.
Do you realize
and
Mr.
a height
McLean's
of 6'2", a weight of 200 pounds.
And shredded.
With 25 wins.
True that.
7 losses and only 2 draws. 2-time cruiserweight champion of the world from Atlanta, Georgia, fighting for absolute boxing. Red corner, YAHYA McCLAIN.
That's because I'm fired up because YAHYA McCLAIN's about to take this belt. All I'm seeing is gray in the goatee. All right, so we got YAHYA McCLAIN, black and red trunks. Jason Robinson, black and white trunks, mostly black. They're black. There's no white on them other than the title logo, but okay. Looks like Robinson trying to establish that jab early. Robinson southpaw. Little 1-2 there. McLean Robinson 6'2", weighed in at 200 even. McLean 6'2", 200 even. These guys are relatively the same as far as what they weighed in at, their height. McLean looks like he's having a hard time getting his footing here. That's because he doesn't have his cane beside him. True. He does look like a pimp. Big right hand by McLean. Kind of relaxed style. His hands are down a little bit. Relying on his speed. Referee says break. Going 3 10-minute rounds here. Or 10 3-minute rounds. 3 10-minute rounds would be a grinder. Hey, that's Sean Moisner is not mad at you. Great minds. We immediately went Sean Moisner. Oh, nice little overhand right there. Unloading his McLean. Robinson dropped his head a little bit. McLean connects with a uppercut there. Oh, another big right. Right hook there for McLean. Throwing it back and up too. McLean just picking Robinson apart right now. You got to wonder if Robinson's being a little too over-aggressive here, stalking McLean down. He's playing right into McLean's game, if you will. McLean measuring him. The referee's probably going to get on to him about measuring him there. Little clinch here. Referee's going to break him up. McLean looks like he wants a counter punch. He's backing up, but he's connecting. Little left hook there for McLean. Measuring. Nice right hook. Straight right hook there. Little 3-4 off the break.
He's gonna catch him, trust me. Just pissing him off.
Boxing kind of hit a little lull there for a minute. Now it's making a comeback. You got Pacquiao taking some big fights recently. Now we got the Roy Jones Jr. Bernard Hopkins matchup everybody's been talking about. Because you're from Long Island, for God's sakes. Crowd seems to be into this. I like the mix. David Oblis I wouldn't necessarily say throwing a curveball, just saying, hey.
Throwing a changeup. We'll give him a changeup.
I like it. Riley Fingers changeup.
Riley Fingers did not throw a changeup.
Steve Bedrosian.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
All right. See, you didn't know. Ooh. I just basically threw him quite a few Atlanta Brave pitchers.
Except Riley Fingers was not a Braves pitcher. He pitched for the Oakland Athletics.
They don't know that. Don't take my word. McLean hands down by his knees. Let's hope that doesn't prove costly. I'm ahead 5-2 to Lee Roper right now, but it doesn't look like it will.
5-3.
Okay, I'll give you a 5-3. If I'm in Robin, and let me get this straight. I'm a wrestling coach and a former MMA fighter. I am by no means a boxing instructor. But if I'm in Robinson's corner,
quit chasing.
I'm telling you, hey, quit chasing. You can keep command in the middle of the ring. I got no problem with that. But, you know, punches in bunches, pick your spots. Don't get lulled into what McLean's trying to do. If he's going backwards, like you said, don't chase him. You know, he's looking to counterpunch. If your punches in bunches, make it a little bit harder for him to counterpunch. You know, and follow that jab up. Start believing in your jab a little bit more. Follow it up. Maybe start mixing up some body shots. Don't head hunt. That's the last thing you do. When a guy drops his hands, you have a tendency to head hunt. Looks like McLean might just be a little bit too much better of a counterpuncher for Robinson here. Robinson isn't chasing as much. McLean really isn't trying to establish any type of forward offense. I wouldn't go so far as to say James Toney counterpunching.
I wouldn't go that far either.
I wouldn't either. Speaking of James Toney, if you want a comical, and I am talking comical video to watch, go to YouTube and search for James Toney, Joe Rogan, or James Toney versus Brock Lesnar. Joe Rogan talks about the matchup, and it is absolutely hilarious. Guys like Floyd Mayweather's come out and says that his speed's so good, he would dominate any lightweight, you know, MMA, you know, guy, and that's the thing. People always try to put those boxing and MMA guys against each other. No disrespect to Mr. Robinson. 10 rounds. He's got a while to get back in this fight. Heading into the third round here. This ring judge next to me, Lee, is a little too into the fight. But I guess that's what you want out of a ring judge.
You might want him keeping score.
Move in, Jason.
Intently watching.
Set up your left.
I'm going to call this one's going all 10.
You think?
I
think McLean catches him with a counter right hook in the fifth round.
Jab, Jason.
Or this round.
Pin would kill him. That's a 516 area code. I concur. I was a big Mayweather fan until he started believing way too much of his own hype. That's just me. That's one man's opinion. But then again, I was a big Arturo Gatti fan until I saw him fall from grace. Robinson connecting there a little bit. Might have stunned McLean for a half a second. Robinson's making some adjustments in this fight. I got to give him a little credit here. He's definitely making some adjustments in this fight. He's not chasing as much. There's a difference between chasing and cutting off the ring. And he's cutting off the ring a little bit more, not chasing as much. Nice uppercut followed by a straight right hand there from McLean.
Come on, Jason! Now!
Just going from MMA fights to a boxing match, you notice how much more precise their footwork is on their punches.
Unbelievably technical. Like I said, a lot of people are on the MMA bandwagon right now, and it's all MMA or nothing. But you've got to respect the craft of a boxer. You got to respect the precision.
The power behind the punches is just so much more than an MMA fight. Now you've got great strikers in MMA. I'm not going to take it away from those guys, but you've got guys out there boxing, man. Their footwork's so good, so much power behind all their punches.
Agreed. You're working on one aspect of the MMA game, which is the striking game. You know, an MMA fighter has to focus on takedown defense, striking. He has to focus on submission defense. You know, there's a lot of aspects of MMA. You know, if you could focus on one aspect of MMA, which basically striking or boxing, obviously you're going to be more precise at it. But you're right, there are some guys in the MMA game that pretty damn precise. And I will say this, Robinson pushing the pace. It slows down when you sit down, and when you stand up, it has to speed up to pump blood throughout your body once you stand up. Never really bought into sitting down between rounds. If you'll notice, sometimes traditional Thai fighters won't sit down between rounds. They'll stand up. They'll get their legs rubbed out, arms rubbed out, but they won't sit down. That's just something you'll notice a lot of times. MMA fighters won't sit down. Personal preference. For me, I thought it just allowed me to stay on my feet, get more oxygen in my lungs. Round 4, McLean doing a little bit of the same. Counter punching.
I've got 3 rounds McLean, 1 round Robinson.
You did drink during the intermission, I'll give you that.
Erroneous.
There it is, left.
How do you have it scored then? Master Fretwell?
4-0 on ring generalship and damage. Harold Letterman, if he was ringside, would say the exact same thing. I'll tell you this though, dude.
Somebody's been watching Showtime boxing way too much.
I grew up watching Thursday night fights with my pops, so I've seen it all. Nice right uppercut, but I like how Robinson's starting to punch on the break now. I can appreciate that. I can also appreciate the fact that I just got hit with some of McLean's sweat. I saw you looking at that girl walking by, Roper. Eyes front and center on the fight, please. Still looking.
I'm not denying it.
Like I said, I like how Robinson's punching on the break a little bit more. He's trying to mix it up. To me, I think Robinson's getting outboxed. Maybe he makes a little bit more of a fight out of it. Smothers McLean a little bit more. He's not. To me, it's clear, and Robinson might want to punch me in the face if he heard me say this, but he's not going to win the boxing match. I think he needs to make a little bit more of a fight out of it.
Come on, Jason!
Even though McLean's all counter punching, he's winning the technical exchanges here. The referee says don't hold on the back of the head. Might have been a boo or two from the crowd. Overall, pretty active fight. Not a ton of clinching. Wild Bill's Fight Night live on the Weber Net. Appreciate you guys tuning in on Go Fight Live. I'm Cliff Fretwell along with
Lee Roper.
Just gonna let him introduce himself.
I appreciate it, finally.
Hey man,
Mad Dog at the mic.
gotta walk. No, neither fighter's really been hurt. I will say this though, if we go cornerman versus cornerman, I'm taking Robinson.
All day.
Twice on Sunday. Unfortunately, or say fortunately, the cornermen are not fighting each other. We got McLean versus Robinson. Robinson's corner's a little upset about McLean holding excessively there. Looks like Robinson might try to make a little bit more of a fight out of it. Smother McLean a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more dirty boxing out of Robinson here. backing McLean up now.
Keep working.
McLean's not backing up on his own accord. Robinson's kind of making McLean back up now. McLean popping that jab out there. Nice 1-2 exchange and a 3 for good measure. Now a nice right hook from McLean. Robinson's corners wanting uppercuts here.
He's holding, ref. Hey, ref, he's holding.
Somebody behind us stating the clear obvious.
Work, Jason. Work. Come on. Work, Jason.
McLean pushing Robinson away, measuring again. He keeps going back to that right hook, but it looks like McLean might be a little tired here, but he's got that kind of relaxed style anyway, so you never know.
What are you waiting for?
You're not hearing the snap off his gloves like you did in the first and second round.
Go, Jason. Work.
Robinson could turn this into a workman-like fight. He could just keep grinding forward and start winning the favor of the ring judges. But he's really got to... There's those punches and bunches. McLean's starting to hold a little more.
Come on, Jason. Come on, Jason. Let it go.
That was a nice over straight left there from Robinson, but he stopped there, and McLean started putting more punches together. Body shot there from Robinson.
Let him go.
Robinson's corner saying, let him go. They want to see him throwing more hands. McLean really holding a little bit more. He's taking a point away.
That's way too many numbers.
Moving into, what is this, the 7th round? I tried to ask the ring judge. He is so focused.
Professional at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Get him in there.
He's getting a cool $175 to do this. Probably that's more than me and you are getting paid.
Need more points, Jason.
Way more.
That's a $175. That's 100% more than we're getting paid.
Doesn't matter. He's not going to do it.
McLean a little bit more active offensively.
I just don't see the power of McLean's shots anymore. I think he's running out of gas here.
Well, it's the 7th round.
And he is old.
Cut him off. We got a big strategy here now.
I don't think age is a factor here.
He can't give a shot in.
You could say conditioning is a factor. Don't say age is a factor.
All right, I'll retract my statement.
Jason, get him off. Go.
You can't say age is a factor. I was just joking.
Work, Jason. Let your hands go. Let your hands go.
Robinson's corner still asking him to let his hands go. And he obliges. Thanks for the showering of man sweat.
There you go. There you go. Got the ring.
I got 0 replies on my best rapper from New York. Thoroughly disappointed in the New York crowd.
Jump on him, Jason. Jump
Guys
on
should
him.
be ashamed of yourself.
I think we've got more of a metal crowd from New York tonight. That's the vibe I'm getting.
You got a more what?
Metal crowd from New
Metal?
York. Metal.
I disagree. If you're from New York, you know a little bit about hip hop. You could have thrown me an
Punches out.
answer.
Let's go, Jason. Yeah.
Okay, if we got a more of a metal crowd, then what's Megadeth's best album?
Go. Work.
I know the answer. Robinson's shaking his head quite frequently. It's not a frustrative shake. It's kind of like a let me get the cobwebs out shake to me.
Come on, Jason.
McLean clearly kind of smothering here. I mean, in my opinion, he's doing enough to win the fight. Robinson pressing forward a little bit. McLean's got his back. Oh, wait, it's a boxing
You beat me
match.
to it.
I'm sharp as a tack, son. McLean loading up heavy on that right hook. Didn't connect.
Jason. Let your hands go.
McLean doing a lot of backing up right now. Got to wonder how that's going to play in the judge's eyes. You know, if you're a judge that really likes that ring generalship and control of the pace of the fight. Oh, McLean's looking like he got poked.
Go, Jason!
Referee says time. I don't even know what that's about. Get hit low. He got poked in the eye. What happened? Get thumbed in the eye?
That's the iron lung timeout.
McLean does look a tad worse for wear. This place is going to go absolutely BANANANANANAS if Robinson comes back. I said bananas. The crowd is booing like a big herd of Boo Bears.
Actually, they're kind of in Yaya's corner.
Why are they booing YAHYA McCLAIN?
They're not.
They were saying boo?
No, they weren't.
Robinson's really got to get to work now. Only a couple rounds left in the fight. Oh, nice left hand there.
Go, Jason, go!
McCLAIN trying to clinch.
Go, Jason! One, he's holding!
McCLAIN holding bad. It's almost obvious holding now. The ref warns him. Says, I'm going to take another point from you. McCLAIN says something to the ref.
He's holding! He's holding! Holding! Go back at him, Jason! Throw punches!
I got no response on my metal album either, Roper. So clearly they're not a metal crowd. Maybe they're a jazz flute crowd.
A jazz flute. It's
Jazz
a soft,
flute.
It's a soft J.
It's a jazz flute from Ron Burgundy. McLean has taken about 3 forward steps this entire round, but in my opinion is still winning the fight. Nice left uppercut, rolls off the ropes, then holds a little bit. In my opinion, Robinson needs a knockdown or 3 to get back in this fight, or McLean's gonna take the vacant NABF Cruiserweight Championship belt home with him tonight. I will say this, the referee's got some pretty doggone good footwork himself.
He's moving pretty well.
He looks like he's pushing 60. Obviously taking the hairline into consideration. Back to the fight. McLean's footwork is definitely slowed down. Counter-punching slowed down. Backing up still. Measuring with that left hand and then trying to hold. This ref's going to take another point. He's taking another point, holding on the head this time. I really don't know if that gets Robinson back in the fight. Nice 1-2 there, short time in the round. I think you're right. McLean's definitely starting to show some.
I think it's the boxing. I think we had an MMA crowd there getting their drink on while the boxing match is going.
I say this, though, if I'm a true MMA fan, if I'm a true fight fan.
You're a purist, though, Cliff. There's not many of those out there.
Let your hands go!
Hey,
Straight!
I respect anybody's craft. The ring card judge just slapped something out of the ring and it hit me. I don't appreciate
ice.
it. Okay.
Let your hands go!
I'll let it slide.
Hit him with overhands,
Robinson's corner is wanting him to punch more. Got to let those hands go. He's got to feel like he's losing this fight.
Oh, clearly a good corner. Oh, that was a punch to the back of the head. Ref's going to let it go. McClain could put something together here. He had Robinson literally on the ropes. All right, if you're an MMA fan and you hate boxing, send me a text, 404-394-3252.
Not a good text crowd tonight. We usually are way more active.
For real, though, man. Come on. There's the Droid. There's the iPhone. Come on. Guys should be texting maniacs. My battery should be dead right now. Robinson still pushing the pace. McLean really just kind of smothering and holding right now. He's not real active. He's backing up and loading up. Kind of looking for one punch right now. His hands were down from the beginning of the fight, but I think they're down for another reason now. He's clearly showing some signs of fatigue. Robinson's trying to push the pace forward, but I think at this point, he's really having trouble picking McLean apart. Right when he gets to McLean and he gets to that range where he can unload, McLean just kind of jumps in and holds.
Jason, now! Straight!
Lost another point for holding.
Well, that's going to be, at a minimum, 3 rounds in a row that are even. More than likely 3 rounds in a row that Robinson wins. McLean might lose another point here for holding. That'd be a 10-8 round.
Clearly tying him up every time he gets near to unload.
Short time in the round. And I say a minimum of even because I'm saying if McLean wins the round and he lost, I'm not saying anything, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But a good cornerman knows when his guy's tired and knows how to buy time.
Go, Jason!
I concur, sir.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Straight!
Yeah, we're just waiting for the MMA fights. Oh, McLean! Pouring it on! Woke the sleeping giant! Robinson covering up. Is McLean throwing his full tank out at the beginning, though?
His hands are down now.
I think Robinson's ready to go 10. McLean's ready to go about 7.5. Robinson said, hey, this is the war I've been waiting for.
Yaya's hurting now. He threw the tank at him. He is hurt and struggling in this round.
I'll give him 3/4 of a prop for coming out, though.
Maybe 5/8 of a prop.
5/8 is 3/4, right?
Nope.
Dang. Oh, Jason, hard left hook to the body. That was a nice left hook to the body by Robinson there. The only good thing about this fight is the ring card girl. Oh, you new Yakas. You guys. Hey, another good thing about this fight is YAHYA McCLAIN's got chrome on his trunks. Holla.
Another good right hand to the body.
Yep, this might be comeback of the century. Thanks to the heart of Robinson and the terrible holding of McLean.
He holds again, he's going to lose another point.
Robinson really trying to grind forward here. McLean right back on the attack as soon as the break. McLean trying to go rope-a-dope. He ate a 1-2 there. Somebody behind us is beating a chair furiously on the ground. I'm hoping it doesn't go flying over our heads in the ring.
Robinson still got plenty of pop left in those punches.
I think McLean's a little too slick to get caught, but I can respect the fact that Robinson is just grinding. I don't even care.
All right, as the
For the record,
stand,
we're
this
not.
is it, the 10th round for the Pro Boxing Bacon NABF
We walk around here at the fights.
Championship. Let's hear it for these two fighters. Somebody's got to win.
Did Southside Steve say somebody's gonna win?
Somebody's got to win. We're going into the final round. I still say Robinson either has to get a knockdown or a knockout to win the fight.
Does the term no shit apply, Southside Steve?
No bleep.
No beep.
He's holding.
New York does like orange tight shorts, of course. This fight is definitely not going to be a draw. Well, it could be. McLean dominated early. Robinson clawed his way back. If this fight is a draw, we might not get to the next fight. This place might burn to the ground. Oh, nice overhand right there. The YAHYA crew getting loud. Everybody's stomping, beating, clapping. It's like when the Wild Thing came into pitch in that movie Major League.
Except for the bad haircut and the music.
Yep. That was a great reference. I don't know why that popped into my head. Sometimes I surprise myself. I gotta say, I've gained a good bit of respect for Robinson trying to claw his way back into this fight. McLean, like you said, I don't know if it was age or conditioning or a combination of both, man, but he clearly has hit the wall by halfway or 2/3 of the way into this fight. Just he's doing what he can to get a W here.
Slip.
You're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. Jason throwing everything he's got. Me personally, I'd look for a little inside trip here. A little over-under inside trip always gets the fans out of their seats. McLean just measuring and clinching, measuring and clinching. McLean might have just held his way to a NABF championship.
First off, a round of applause. It did go the distance, 10 rounds. Let's hear it for these two boxers. Jason Robinson from Chicago, Illinois, and YAHYA McCLAIN from Atlanta, Georgia. Also, special thanks to Brian Camp, Secretary of State, for presiding over the event. Your judges, Judge Nola Oliver saw it 90-97. Your judge, Rick Sales, saw it 91-96. Your judge, Thomas Nardone, saw it 93-94. And your winner of the vacant NABF Cruiserweight belt is Jason Robinson, Chicago,